This video, this episode is about how to hire the right mediator. People don't know how to do it. And there's a spoiler alert on this. It's not telling your story. That's the last piece of interviewing for a mediator. Your story should really not matter if you get the right mediator. The right mediator will be able to handle any story, any issues. Okay, so there are 5 steps in interviewing for the right mediator. Step number 1, consider whether a male or female, gay, lesbian, non-binary, straight, attorney versus non-attorney, or a retired judge. So mediators come in all different categories. Do not worry about being politically or socially correct or incorrect or being woke. This is about the natural tendencies of people to gravitate towards certain types of people for their comfort. That's all this is about. Choosing somebody that you feel most comfortable with. And who knows who that is? And you must also feel comfortable just with the human being. So it doesn't matter what package the human being comes in, but sometimes that starts, sometimes gay people want to deal with gay people because they think the lifestyle, what they deal with in life versus straight people matters. So you know what? I'm open to anybody. I mean, I'm open to whatever works for you is the right thing. Number 2, ask which type of mediation they practice. So just like there are different types of therapy that therapists practice, there are different types of mediation. What you're really wanting to know is how involved the potential mediator is in the problem-solving aspect of the mediation. You're hiring a mediator, presumably, who can move your negotiation forward in a way that both of you cannot by yourselves. Some mediators are far more involved than others. There really is a philosophy out there, or 2 philosophies among mediators, to either become very engaged or not so engaged, and to just be the container in which the negotiation is held and you let the parties work it out. I'm an involved mediator, by the way. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do. No mediator should tell you what to do unless you really, really, really say, look, we just need your advice. We need guidance. We need something like that. And then most mediators will talk about other mediations that they've had, similar ones, and explain how those mediations worked out because they want to stay neutral, the mediators. All right, number 3. Ask how long they've been practicing mediation. Ask if they engage in ongoing education within their profession and what types of education they receive. Ask about the associations that the mediator is a member of. Ask if they belong to bar associations. Yes, in some counties, bar associations allow non-attorneys to belong, like paralegals and non-attorney mediators. But education is really important because in mediation, there's no regulation. There truly is no regulation. You don't have to be board certified. There's no test to take. So anybody can say they're a mediator. You want a mediator who is educated in your area of law. And because I work in family law, I am very well educated in family law. Number 4, ask them what, in their opinion, makes for a successful mediation. Ask them about preparation for you and how you as a party in the mediation can do the best you can ahead of the mediation in assembling information, in positioning your thinking, in attitude, in how you show up. How you show up matters. It really does. Are you well dressed? Are you very slovenly? Are you late? Please. Being on time is seriously important for everybody. And then ask about how important legal advice is before a mediation. Legal advice is ultimately important before a mediation. You should never, ever rely on your mediator to teach you the law. Even though you may be going to a retired judge or an attorney mediator, they will lose their neutrality if they teach you the law, because in many cases, the law will favor one of you over the other. And you want your mediator to always remain neutral. That's why you cannot have your mediator teach you the law. Absolutely wrong. Your mediator should know the law and then know when you're going down a path, putting your deal together that the court won't support. The court will support the way you want to divide things. They will support whatever child or spousal support number you use. But there are certain logistics underpinning certain divisions of property that have to be the way the court needs to see them. That's all. It's in the execution of your decisions that the court's going to be looking at for logistics. And then number 5, ask about process of the mediation. Ask about when they tell the mediator the story of the marriage and pending divorce. It comes at different points in time for different mediators. Some mediators, as part of the mediation process, will, once they've booked the time and date for the first mediation, they will back up and schedule up to an hour or 2 with each of you separately. So you can just talk. You can just talk about the story. You can just talk about what happened. You can talk about your fears going into mediation. You can talk about how you look at the settlement being arrived at. And you can talk about things like, my spouse has anger management issues. My spouse is an addict, because this actually really affects child custody and the co-parenting schedule. So that's when, before the mediation, is when the story comes out. Or there's another really well-known mediator in town who's written 1 million books. He doesn't want to know a thing until you sit down and start the mediation. He wants nothing. He wants you to be prepared, but he wants nothing for him. He can figure it out as he goes. All right, everybody's different. But the last little piece of this is, ask about how much of the reason for the divorce should be part of the mediation. So this isn't therapy. You know, the mediator's not there to un-F everybody. You know what I mean? That's not the mediator's job. Yes, the reason for the divorce is the backdrop to the mediation, to the negotiation. And every good mediator should know this. But it can't be everything about the mediation. It cannot turn into a therapy session. That's what I want to say. So it can come out a little bit, but just a little bit, so that the mediator understands the context from which you're negotiating. But that's it. Mediation is about going forward, making a financial decision for settlement. Okay, I hope that helped. This was just an easy way to show you the best way to proceed when you're interviewing for mediators. So I hope you got a lot out of it. And as always, have an amicable day.